Alright. Let's get ready to go live. Get ready to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright. Let's get ready to go live. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright. Let's get ready to go live. 2. Alright. Let's get ready to go live. In 5, 4, 3, 2. Alright. Let's get ready to go live. In 5. Live in 5 for another live jive archive with your host, Frank Monday, coming at you from the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon Twilight Zone, Old Peking, deep within the central kingdom of the Celestial Dragon, and far behind the Bamboo Firewall, capital of Old Tartaria. Welcome back once again, Wayfarer. I hope you are doing well wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you may be receiving this transmission. Welcome to the show. Tonight's topic is Into the Abodes of Dreamland, and the question I present is, where do we go there? What do we learn there? How do we get there? And is it of any value to the everyday man? And if so, how can we help the everyday man break through the confusion? Obviously, if you're a wizard, warrior, shaman, wanderer, wayfarer, and wildcat alike, you are welcome and know a little something already about the impressions from Dreamland. I hope you are doing well this evening, Wayfarer. I am chilling like a villain. It's 10:34 a.m. here in Old Peking. Shout out to everyone else around the world, whether you be in Tokyo at 11:30 it shows. How could it be 11:30 in Tokyo? It's an hour later and it should be AM. Okay, yeah, the clock has shifted. Took a minute for the clock to update. Yeah, we've got Stockholm, Sweden, 4:30 AM. Good looking out, Stockholm. You guys are probably fast asleep, hanging out in your blankets, right? 4:30 is usually about when I get up in the morning. Memphis, Tennessee, only 9:35 p.m. Good looking out, Memphis. Appreciate you with your pyramid there on the border of, what are you on the border of? Kentucky and Kansas, Indiana, Alabama, right? Louisiana, Mississippi, right? Georgia, South and North Carolina, Idaho. Idaho, right? Yeah, I like you, Tennessee Valley, all the way from Memphis to Nashville, the Grand Ole Opry, Chattanooga Choo Choo, Great Smoky Mountains. Y'all good looking sexy people out in Tennessee. Got my back. Good looking out, brother. Got that Negro jazz in Memphis, Tennessee, right? With B.B. King blowing on his horn. They know how to shake some ass back in the day, baby. Know what's going on. Denver, Colorado, good looking out at 8:36 or 37 now. AM for you guys, or PM? Probably PM. I guess it's PM, AM, PM. Yeah, 8:37 PM for Denver, Colorado. Y'all about to retire for the evening. Get yourself a warm beverage, a little mulled wine, perhaps. I don't know. It's summertime. You might be wanting to drink some of that Tennessee Old Number 7 with some lemonade and ice cubies. Right? You guys probably don't have any strawberries. I think it's probably pretty hard to grow strawberries up there in the mountains of Denver, Colorado. Dallas, Texas. Y'all shit kickers and boot stompers down there. I hope you doing well. Hope y'all good looking motherfuckers are keeping an eye on the border. Make sure too many wetbacks aren't sliding across, stealing all the jobs. Yeah, it really robs the nation of its power for the regular people that have sacrificed so much fathers and grandfathers and great-grandfathers that gave up their lives and sacrificed their blood and treasure and tears in order to establish some sort of freedoms for the American people. Don't just sell it all down the river flush it all down the toilet for an extreme leftist mentality. That isn't going to help anyone ever. No, ain't going to. 1037-38 pushing now in New York City. New York City, old rotten apple, with your giant sewer rats running around and your roach motels. Really a city of greatness, the Big Apple. Used to be the pinnacle of the world. And they had something called an Empire State of Mind. And folks thought if you could make it in New York, you could make it anywhere. Those glorious days have all but passed. Paris, chiming in at 7:38 a.m., I believe. Good looking out in the AMs over there in Paris with the Eiffel Tower and the Champs-Élysées or whatever, that famous boulevard where the cafes and balconies communicate with society. The Parisians, they know culture, man. They know wine, they know food, they know pastries, they know just about a little bit about everything of good living, right? Joie de vivre, the joy of life, and being a bon vivant, how to enjoy life. Yeah, you can't have a pièce de résistance without the French. There's a lot of things you can't have without your Parisian brothers. Dublin, shout out to you guys in Dublin and London. They're in jolly old England, United Kingdom, Ireland. Looking at 3:30 a.m., guys. Most of you are either sound asleep or you've been up all night drinking. All right, nothing like some good old Irish whiskey, Jameson, etc. Nothing better than Irish folk music too, right? Foggy Dew. I know you know it, Wayfarer. 'Twas down the glen one Easter tide, to a city fair rode I. There armored lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No fife did hum, nor battle drum did sound its dread tattoo. But the Angelus bells or the Liffey swell rang out through the foggy dew. 'Twas England's bade our wild geese go, that small nations might be free. But their lonely graves are by Suvla's waves, on the fringe of the great North Sea. Oh, had they died by Pierce's side, or fought with noble Cattlebrew, their names we'd keep where the Fenians sleep, 'neath the shroud of the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin town flung they out the flag of war. Said 'twas better to die 'neath an Irish sky than at Suvla or Sudelbar. And from the plains of royal Mead strong men came hurrying true, while Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns sailed in through the foggy dew. And to and fro in my dreams I go, and I kneel and pray for you, for those who died that Easter tide in the springtime of the year. For those who died that Easter tide in the springing of the year. All right, good magic, lovely. Little Foggy Dew, I might have missed a verse in there. I'm not exactly sure, but you know, it is what it is. Just keep on keeping on, y'all good-looking, sexy people out there and happy. And I'm gonna make myself a coffee, so I'm gonna take myself a little 2-minute break. I'd like you guys to contemplate the question I asked a moment ago on the description of the video. Let me see if I can find it. I got a nice little thumbnail there. Into the abodes of Dreamland. Hit the like button, guys. I just hit it. I don't see that anybody else has hit it. The question is, where do we go in Dreamland? Yeah, so I've got a number of questions. I'll put those up in the box, and then I'll make myself a coffee, and y'all keep chilling like a villain. I'll throw on the invocation of Thoth in order to fill the space so there's no dead air time. I know how you guys are. I know how that grinds on the nerves when you're listening to a radio show, FM radio with Frank Monday, that you don't want that dead airtime. You want to be titillated, stimulated, entertained, tickled, right? Even angered and upset and saddened. You want all of those things. You want to feel that vast range of great human emotions that make you connect with things that you're passionate about, things you care about, right? Something of interest. That's why so many people get involved in the Jerry Springer effect. I mean, they say, oh, gossip is bad, right? Gossip is bad. Change my diaper, wah, wah, wah. Banging their fucking rattle like there's no goddamn tomorrow. Haters gonna hate, guys. It's what they get paid for. Don't pay them no mind. Trolls gonna troll. It's in the name, right? It's what they do. If it's your first time, don't let it be your last time. Make sure you check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Pull something in the tip jar so Frank Monday can keep his bean counter filled. Right? Gotta grind some beans, boil some water, and make some coffee. With that said, let me see if I can focus on getting this video loaded up for you guys. Yes, indeed. Here it is. Here it is here. Let's see if it'll just pop right in there when I click on it. I'm not exactly sure how all of this works. And I just heard Discord sounding off in the background. I don't think that was someone joining the channel. Invocation of Thoth, guys. Israel Regardi. Good magic.
Invocation of Thoth. Procul, o procul esti profani, qual lasti ompeda. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibis head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night sky blue, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is of flaming orange as though it burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, Lord of the past and of the future. I see by mine own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh forth from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pinnacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who company the bier to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of wrong, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of the earth. Behold, he is in me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance wherein Ptah floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of new. I raise that flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing on in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountains, the celestial waters shall flow at my word. For I am Ra incarnate, Keth-Ra, created in the flesh. I am the eidolon of my father Tamu, lord of the city of the sun. The God who commands is in my mouth. The God of wisdom is in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a God sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart realizes itself as that of Ptah when he createth his works. I am eternal, therefore all things are as my designs, therefore do all things obey my word. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, or light, or power. So, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of art. Thou, star of the east, that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all-present in heaven and in hell. Thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, changing ever, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make all spirits subject unto me, so that every spirit of the firmament and of the ether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and of rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God the vast one may be obedient unto me.
All right. Good magic. I really appreciate that. That was a reading by beloved priest, grandmaster of the Hermetic Order of Golden Dawn, Israel Regardi, Francis Israel Regardi. He's a Frank like me. It's always good to be Frank. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's juggle things around a bit. Beloved. Where you are and whenever you may be receiving this transmission, make sure you hit the like button if you're tuning in today. If you're tuning in now, later, in the future, in the past, whenever you decide to tune in, go ahead and hit that like button one time. That gets shit done here on YouTube, man. You know how they are. They're going to shadow ban you and lord over you until people start paying attention. And when beloved people like you, people interested in the future, you're interested in the esoteric, the occult, the paranormal, and especially the future and what the future holds and how to see things coming from a mile away, right? Getting ready, preparation, the magician, the wizard, the warrior, all about preparing the life, doing your daily undulations, adorations, obsequies. Your fumigations, your everything you do, that's you, right? Because it was that Aristotelian logic that perfection and excellence isn't a matter of chance. It's not coincidence. It's about practice, because what you think, say, and do are who you become. It's who you are. It's an expression of your energetic composition at the time of you doing it. And you can always improve. There's always room for growth. right? And it's not an outward battle. It's not an outward game. It's an inward game. It's about challenging the self and moving gradually forward from darkness into light. All right, the essential Masonic question is, have you traveled far, Wayfarer? And the response can be whatever you think it is, right? What do you think the response is? Have you traveled far, Wayfarer? It's a damn good question. Take a deep breath with me. Hold it for a moment and relax. Let go of any tension, anxiety, sadness, distraction, worry, vexation. Let it all go with a nice healing breath of the Spirit of the Lord. That's where you're getting it, brothers and sisters. That's where you're getting it, man. It's a celestial thing. Inhale it again with me. Hold it. And invoke Adoration of Abraxas, guys. This is a high-powered, high-octane one. Say it with me if you know the words. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe, the vast and the mighty one, creator of heaven and earth, maker of all things visible and invisible, master of both the light and the darkness, he who was, is, and shall be. We adore thee and we invoke thee. Send us one of your divine spiritual agents, our holy guardian angel, to protect and guide us through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and that cleansing wind to disperse all negativity and endless, odious, noxious human opinion. Teach us those secret things which we must know for the completion of the great work and the glory of thine ineffable name, Adonai. So it is commanded and confirmed. So mote it be. Amen. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the uprising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in his splendor at the prow, and Ra-Hor abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of Dreamland. Once again, like Finnegan, welcome back, brothers and sisters. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power, silence is strength, will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation, because love is the law, love under will, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Every man and every woman is a star. And we're all starring in our own grand performance, our own magnum opus, sine qua non, pièce de résistance. And I invite you to join me today. This time, we've got about an hour. We can afford about an hour together today, beloved. And I'll wait patiently for the algorithm to circulate this out to anyone of interest to stop by and say hello. Reading today from the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, Emerald Tablet number 8, the Key of Mystery. And I'm going about this with my questions in mind. That where do we go in Dreamland? What do we do there? And what's the upshot? And is there any upshot for the average, ordinary layman practitioner? The hoi polloi, right? The plebeian company. I don't know, man. They live in such a prosy world that sometimes magic isn't of interest to them, and that would be played out and proved by today's transmission, right? That better to be alone than to be in bad company. So here we go, guys. Emerald Tablet 8, the Key of Mystery. Unto thee, O man, have I given my knowledge. Unto thee I have given of light. Hear ye now, and receive my wisdom, brought from space planes above and beyond. Not as man am I, for free I have become of dimensions and planes. In each take I on a new body, in each I change in my form. Know I now that the formless is all there is of form. Wow, powerful word starting us right off. I only got two verses in, and we can already see that we're getting beyond the space planes above and beyond, and becoming free of dimensions and planes. This is real magic, guys. This is real magic, right? He's describing to us activity in Dreamland to some extent, and what we do there. Right? Great is the wisdom of the seven, mighty are they from beyond. Manifest they through their power, filled by force from beyond. Okay, so we have the seven. I don't know if you guys know about the seven. If you're not an initiate, I'm not going to take an overt amount of time to explain all of the mysteries, because I think, like, I don't know, I've been spending the last 40 years of my life researching them, and some of them, like, I learned about 35 years ago, 30 plus years ago, and it's not until recently that I was able to figure out what the fuck was going on and what some of this stuff meant. So I'm not going to go into too much analysis and dissertation on things that require a lifetime of seeking in order to learn. But I do invite, if you have questions, to ask me. Put them down in the comment. Well, you leave a comment on the video after you listen to it, if you make it all the way through. If nobody shows up today, guys, I'm going to go 1 hour. And then, ooh, good God in heaven, that black magic, man, that shit got me. Oh, you know, I like my coffee like I like my magic, Wayfarer. And it just burned my fucking hand while I was yip-yapping at you guys. Right, yeah, so what I was trying to say was leave it in the comment, hit the like button, subscribe, sub a friend, all that happy horse shit that makes YouTube bark like a dog. And then check me out on buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. You know what, I think I'm going to write an essay about this and some other things that I was inspired by from Hugo. And then I'll send that out to the subscribers on the Buy Me a Coffee. And then I'll make it a, whatever that is, like how like only the subscribers can look at it, because it only takes a one-time coffee purchase in order to become a lifetime subscriber on Buy Me a Coffee. So it's something you might consider. Anyway, I'll keep going with this, and then I'll put a little more behind the scenes information, analysis, and understanding of these texts. That way there's something of value there for people, you know, who are interested in supporting the Bean Fund, because those beans aren't cheap, man. I was in Sam's Club yesterday, and I even kind of backed off on buying a couple of bags of coffee. It's like 150 RMB. It's like 20 bucks for less than a kilo now. It used to be 100 for over a kilo, but, you know, the tariffs kicked in. Let's continue with this. Right, the seven is what I was talking about just now, and I don't want to get too much into revealing the secrets of the seven. Damn good coffee, guys. Damn good magic. Hear ye these words of wisdom, hear ye, and make them thine own. Find in them the formless. Mystery is but hidden knowledge. Know, and ye shall unveil. Find the deep buried wisdom, and be master of darkness and light. Deep are the mysteries around thee, hidden the secrets of old. Search through the keys of my wisdom, surely shall ye find the way. The gateway to power is secret, but he who attains shall receive. Look to the light, O my brother, open, and ye shall receive. Press on through the valley of darkness, overcome the dweller of night. Keep ever thine eyes on the light plane, and thou shalt be one with the light. So, the big question I was asking, right, is where do we go in Dreamland? And now you might be figuring it out, right, through the dissertation of Emerald Tablet 8, the key of mystery. Again, unless you join me in direct fellowship of the text, then I'm not going to pontificate, opine, or pontoon too much on it on my own, because that's not pog. Is that what the kids these days are saying? Right? I'll save my riz for when you actually show up and hang out with me. Otherwise, you know, it's just jerking yourself off online, and that's no kind of fun. Well, I guess it can be fun. Give me a minute, guys. I got to flip pages. Last night as I slept, I dreamed I met with BM. He took me by the hand and we passed the time of day. When questioned on his views on the crux of life's philosophy, he had but these few clear and simple words to say. I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. All right, guys, next verse. Let's get ready for it. Man is in a process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grows he is time to the formless. Grows he is time to the form. I think there might be a grammar error there. Anyway. Grows he is time to the formless, a plane on the cycle above. Know ye, ye must become formless, before ye are one with the light. List ye, O man, to my voice, telling of pathways of light, showing the way of attainment, when ye shall be one with the light. Really good magic, guys. Got this hot Colombian Supremo. Thanks to, let's see, who were recent contributors on the Buy Me a Coffee recently? Hugo, thank you for looking out, brother. I appreciate that. That's a beloved thing of you to do, to give a gift of the heart and a gift of spirit. It really puts the jelly in my donut, and thank you for that, sir. I'm going to keep my nose to the grindstone, man. I'm working on what you had inspired me to think about, and I haven't stopped thinking about it since you mentioned it. So yeah, I'm getting in it. You know, there's life has to be lived in between the downtime when you can actually research and write. But I will, oh yeah, that reminds me too, while I'm here at the house, I will grab those plates that I spoke about. When I say plates, I mean large drawings. Large drawings. OG Works by Frank Monday. On me trying to map my ways through Dreamland and the prime material plane and the upward ascent to spiritual immortality on my own, right? And I think that it's finally coming to a point where it's coalescing, where I can present a product, a book, a manuscript, a series of teachings and lessons to the public that can aid them without causing injury, because that's the most important thing. To aid without injuring. To do one's work and then step back from it. That's the great work, man, right there. Before all things, perfect creation of man by himself. List ye, O man, to my voice. Search ye the mysteries of earth's heart. Learn of the law that exists, holding the stars in their balance. By the force of the primordial mist, seek ye the flame of the earth's life, bathe in the glare of its flame, follow the three-cornered pathway, until thou too art aflame. Yeah, a flame of ethereal plasma. It's kind of a thing, isn't it? It's just interesting, all these old magical path workings. They have to be worked through time and time again until they start to manifest in Dreamland. And then you can embrace them in a 3D virtual reality that lies at the center of your own brain as you sleep. It's really an amazing thing, guys. These things light up in Dreamland in worlds that are more real than real, right? Very interesting thing. They're timeless, they're immortal, and they existed prior to me learning about these things through written works. Like I had stumbled across the veil and wandered my way into the abodes of the Timeless Homeland, the invisible college, the celestial realm, before I ever picked up a single book. That's why I believe myself to be a natural magician. I discovered magic without any prompting from the outside world. Well, with very little prompting, in fact. Maybe there's a little. Speak thou in words without voice to those who dwell down below. Enter the blue-litten temple and bathe in the fire of life. There you go. So telepathic communication with the gnome realm, right? These are gnomes. elves, long-nosed wine. What's the word for someone who makes wine? Winemakers. They craft an immortal elixir. That's the first level. It's the first one the neophyte is going to encounter on his journey to the realms down below. And then you have to enter the blue-litten temple and bathe in the fire of life. It's good magic right there, guys. Get it done. Don't be left behind. Don't fall behind in your magical practice. That's why I've created the 100-day challenge, Pathways of Magic, so that you can get on board. And with as little as 10 minutes a day for 100 days, you can really make dynamic change, guys. You have no fucking idea. Something paranormal always happens. Know, O man, thou art complex, a being of earth and of fire. Let thy flame shine out brightly, be thou only the fire. Wisdom is hidden in darkness, when light by the flame of the soul. Find thou the wisdom, and be light born again. Gotta flip the page, guys, and double check the feedback loop. Hope you're doing well out there in Happy Land tonight. Y'all good looking sex people, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment, let me know your response to the questions and information being presented here tonight. Good magic. Good looking out, man. What a thing, huh? What a thing to be able to share this via the dark mirror, through Solomonic magic, the binding of the spirits, and placing the shells in their habitations. Yeah, good magic. Invoke often, guys. Inflame yourself with prayer. All right. Had to flip the page, guys, and get ready for the next section. Let's see, page 31, 32. All right, getting into it. Emerald Tablet 8. We got quite a bit of wonderful... why does that thing keep chiming in the background? I keep getting some sort of notifications from Discord. It's kind of weird. I'm just going to ignore it. It's not too regular, but I did think that I had silenced it. Let me see if I can roll that chill hop back just a little more. Yeah, that's perfect, I think. Where'd I leave off, guys? Here it is. Wisdom is hidden in darkness, when light by the flame of the soul. Find thou the wisdom, and be light born again. A son, light born, a son of the light without form. Seek thee ever more wisdom, find it in the heart of the flame. Know that only by striving, and light pour into thy brain. Now have I spoken with wisdom. List to my voice and obey. Tear open the veils of the darkness. Shines a light on the way. Should be light shines a path on the way. I'm going to rewrite this Emerald Tablet in the future, guys. The whole series. Because there's some mistakes, I believe, in the lyric poetry. I mean, there's obvious mistakes, but maybe they're put there for a reason, to slow you down and confuse you a bit, so you can come back fully into the moment of focus and concentration. Yeah, you know. And then again, maybe they just made mistakes, and I need to improve it so that it flows seamlessly from beginning to end in complete perfection. Alpha et Omega. That's something I can do. I've got the training. I've got the knowledge and understanding. Yeah, that would be a worthwhile endeavor. A new rendition of the Hermetic Tablets, the Emerald Tablet of Thoth, transliterated, and elucidated by Francis Lunas Aristeas of the OTA. That's something to undergo. I don't know if anyone else has done it. First, I better check to see somebody else hasn't done it already. Because it's free from copyright and in the public domain, and that's important. All right, good magic. Let's get into this next verse, guys. Speak I of ancient Atlantis. Speak of the days of the kingdom of shadows. Speak of the coming of the children of shadows. Out of the great deep where they called, by the wisdom of earthmen called for the purpose of gaining great power. Far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were who delved into darkness, using dark magic, calling up beings from the great deep below us. Forth came they into this cycle. Formless were they of another vibration, existing unseen by the children of earthmen. Only through blood could they have formed being. Only through man could they live in this world. Right, wow, that's a really powerful set of verses there, right? The first and second verse that I just read. Man, it's good magic. Balanced Touch is out in the ideas room. Hail unto thee who art Abraxas, even unto thee who art Abrahadabra, even unto thee who art Adonai, even unto thee who art the master of the universe. All right, good magic, man. Good looking out, Balanced Touch. Good to see you, brother. Beloved, welcome. Welcome. So, far in the past, before Atlantis existed, men there were who delved into darkness. Using dark magics, they called up beings from the great deep below us. Forth came they into this cycle. Formless were they of another vibration, existing unseen to the children of men. Only through blood could they form being. Only through man could they live in the world. That's really powerful, man. He gave us a great insight into what's going on, right? Right there with that single verse. In ages past, were they conquered by masters, driven below to the place whence they came. But some there were who remained, hidden in spaces and plains unknown to man. Lived they in Atlantis as shadows, but at times they appeared among men. Aye, when the blood was offered, for they came, they dwell among men. In the form of man, they amongst us, but only to sight were they as men, serpent-headed when the glamour was lifted, but appearing to man as men among men. Lizard people, right? Like old Hecklefish on the Y-Files likes to say. Lizard people. Lizard people. Yeah, he's revealing the lizards right now. Crept they into the councils, taking forms they were like unto men, slaying by their arts to the chiefs of the kingdoms, taking their form and ruling over man. Only by magic could they be discovered, only by sound could their faces be seen. Sought they from the kingdom of shadows to destroy man and rule in his place. All right, good looking out, Dave, man. Nice to see you. I appreciate you being here. Balanced Touch and Dave, thank you for all of your love and your genuine gift of the heart on Buy Me a Coffee the other day, Dave. That's really something, man. That almost pushed me over the edge. I almost bought myself another big bag of Colombian Supremo, but prices have gone up, as you know, my friend. And I said I'll just back off on it a little bit, and I'll try to be more conservative with my coffee consumption. I've got one powerful cup of black magic that I just brewed up, man, and it's gotten me through the first hour. Yeah. I open the invitation to anybody that might like to join me for conversation on the abodes of Dreamland and dreaming. As you can see here, I put it in the chat when I started off. I said I've got an open invitation to everyone out in Happy Land to do good magic and join me here in the dark mirror, right? Doing good Solomonic magic, invoking the spirits, trapping them within the vessel, and asking the questions, where do we go in Dreamland? The first thing that naturally came to mind were the emerald tablets of Tahuti, the Book of Thoth. Oft mentioned and little understood by most people, but I'm breaking down a little bit of it. I don't want to get too much into it, like I could break it down line by line with analysis and dissertation, but I'm not going to, because there are many secrets in this book that took me close to 40 years to learn, and so I'm not just going to give them away. I'm not going to cast the pearls before the swine, right? Where do we go in Dreamland? What do we do there? What's the upshot? Those are the questions I have asked. Balanced Touch says that he's an avatar of a Greek god Phanes, but I also heard that Phanes was a god of Atlantis. Quite interesting. You know that my spiritual name in the Ordo Templi Astarte is actually Aristeus, which is also a Greek god. He's the god of, I believe he's one of Apollo's children. He's Apollo's youngest son. which coincides with my father being Apollo, and all the great work that he did in his powerful magic, and then me taking that lesser subordinate title in my magical path that I'm currently going through. Yeah, so Francis Lunas Aristeas, that's my official magical title in the OTA, the Church of Hermetic Science, with Poke Runyon. So good magic right there, man. I'll have to look more into Phanes. I wanted to be Hephaestus, right? But there was already a Hephaestus. And he's like, he looked at me and he's like, Frank, you're not much of a Hephaestus. And so I had some backup names ready for initiation. And I said, how about Aristeas? And he said, now you've got it. Yeah, Poke Runyon, what a beloved master magician. Yeah, really powerful stuff. You guys know that I went out there for initiation and went through the whole ceremony of Adonia. Oh, what a wonderful thing, man. I only paid $25 to get into his associates program. And for that $25, you get his magnum opus, which is the Book of Solomonic Magic. And you also get like a bunch of DVDs and like coupons for all his other books. The price has gone up, though. When I joined, I think it was back in like 2017, it was $25 for the associate members program. So if you live in the United States or the UK, you can join. But if you live anywhere else in the world, he doesn't allow membership. And so I had to actually fly back to the US and live at my sister's for like 6 months to establish residency in order to become a member of Poke Runyon's OTA. What a fucking thing, huh? But I did it, man. And it took a portion of my life to achieve it. And then when he said, he told me, don't go back to China or I'm cutting you off. I'm like, why are you so anti-China, bro? What the fuck? China. Anyway, every master magician still has their idiosyncrasies and biases. All right, I'm not going to slight him for that. I love him. He's a beloved man. Where did we get to? Okay, so you can only reveal the serpents, right? Like They Live, the movie, by using, he said, magic and vibration, right? Only by magic can they be discovered. Only by sound their faces be seen. And sought they from the kingdom of shadows to destroy man and rule in his place. But know ye, the masters were mighty in magic, able to lift the veil from the face of the serpents, able to send them back to their place. Sorry guys, I should have muted, but I didn't have my hand on the button. I had the hand on my left bicep as I hold this microphone in place and balance the open book of Thoth on my lap in front of me. So I apologize. Came they to man and taught him the secret, the word that only a man can pronounce. Swift then they lifted the veil from the serpent and cast him forth from the place among men. Yet beware, the serpent still liveth in a place that is open at times. To the world unseen they walk among thee, in places where the rites have been said. Ooh, that's powerful stuff right there, guys. You gotta be fucking watching your back. You know, how can you be sure if you don't have any magical initiation and any power of vibration, right? The power of Volantia and Decreeism. If you don't possess the power of the Abrahadabra, then how do you know if you can reveal a serpent? How do you know if it's just not an NPC, right? Or some even darker demonic creature that you're dealing with in the prime material plane, because they can appear as men. So can angels, though, too. And as long as you walk in the light of the Lord, you're always protected. Again, as time passes onward, shall they take the semblance of men. Called may they be by thy master, who knows the white or the black. But only the white master may control and bind them while in the flesh. Seek not the kingdom of shadows, for evil will surely appear. For only the master of brightness shall conquer the shadow of fear. Yeah, that's good magic right there, guys. I want to clear my palate a bit, so I'm going to take a moment to read through the chats out in the ideas room. And while I do that, I'm going to back off this music, and then I'm going to pop on the old We All Come From the Goddess. It's a nice little witchy Wiccan chant. I think it should be here in the video storage. Let me see. Yeah, I got it ready. It is in the public domain. I need to make my own rendition of it, though, because I think I can do a better job than this one did. It misses a lot of the essential verses. Oh no, why is it breaking up? Don't worry, let me reset that. Let me reset that, guys.
We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. Hoof and horn, all that die shall be reborn. Corn and grain, all that fall shall rise again. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. Sage and crone, wisdom's gift shall be our own. Crone and sage, wisdom is the gift of age. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean.
I'll sing that second verse for you guys. That's the masculine one. We all come from the Godhead, and to him we shall return like a spark of flame, rising to the heavens. Hoof and horn, all that dies shall be reborn. Corn and grain, all that falls shall rise again. We all come from the Godhead, Adonai, and to him we shall return like a spark of flame, rising to the heavens. Yeah, good magic, guys. I only planned to stick around for an hour tonight if nobody showed up, but it looks like some of you have shown up. So I put out the invitation if anybody wants to join me here in the abodes of Dreamland via their dark mirror transmission. Sounds like we've got some similarities, and you may have learned some stuff, Balanced Touch, that I haven't yet. Like when I was deep in the dark night of the soul, I called out as well. And I was guided to Poker Onion. I've told that tale. It's one of my most popular videos here on YouTube. It's got over 1,000 views. And it says Poker Onion, Church of Hermetic Science. So I'm not going to recant the tale here. But it's one of the first times and one of the most powerful times that I actually received a telepathic transmission from beyond the veil. And it was it guided me to Poker Onion. And after that, I kept receiving various transmissions from Astartes. And yeah, it was really good magic. So that's how I received my initiation into that particular tradition, at least the one that Poker Onion centers on. And really good magic there. But there were some similarities in our experiences, like with the birth of children and naming and visions from beyond the veil, and like with the passing of my father, mother, brother, best friend, both of my best friends, one that was my American best friend, one that was my best friend over here in China, and just so many other things that happened at the time of the Great Darkness, right? The Great Lockdown. Because that was really dark magic, man. The Dark Celestials, they got out there and they shook their ass, and they're like, they wanted to lord it over us and show us how much power they have in this prime material plane. But, you know, whatever. Fuck them. If you do join the transmission, guys, I put the link up there. Then let me know, because I am not really super familiar with Restream, and I won't know where and how you appear on here. But I do think it'll like sound a little bell or something. Anyway, I'll just keep on going through Emerald Tablet 8 here, because we got a couple more pages to cover. Let me see, two more pages to cover, guys. Yeah, no, thank you for that. And you know, we've all lost and we've all suffered. But yeah, it was really a blast for them to take out everybody who doubted the truth, right? Like I said, I saw it coming. And I'm like, hey guys, be real careful out there. You know, maybe get yourself a medical exemption from the old jibber jab. And I said, if you do, you know, supposedly get the koovies, just lay low and try to pray more and fast and drink a lot of hot water and try to find some natural means. But, you know, they didn't listen. They didn't listen. And I guess they were ready to go home. Because I truly believe that even those with good hearts that bought into the big scam, that they still return to the Timeless Homeland, and that they will not be slighted for that. Because, you know, not everyone practices magic and can see the truth directly. So, and I forgive them. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Right? We've got to be forgiving. Called may they be by the Master, who knows the white or the black, but only the white Master may control and bind them, while in the flesh. Seek not the kingdom of shadows, for evil will surely appear. For only the Master of brightness shall conquer the shadow of fear. That's where we left off. Yeah, it's good magic. I will come one day soon with you. I love your light. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate that, frater. We are definitely brothers in magic. I mean, it's good magic, man. You got to do the work up front in order to make the connections in the astral realms, right? You know the pathway, right? We find ourselves mired in the fathomless cavern of deception, surrounded by the Lizza folk, right? And then we got to wander out of it. We got to find the pathway upward and outward, upward and onward, man. Know ye, O my brother, that fear is an obstacle great. Be master of all in the brightness. The shadow will soon disappear. Hear ye and heed my wisdom. The voice of light is clear. Seek not the valley of shadow, and light will only appear. List ye, O man, to the depth of my wisdom. Speak I of knowledge hidden from man. Far have I been on my journey through space-time, even to the end. Even to the end of the space cycle, he says. Yeah, it's really good magic. Wow, yeah, see? On Mother's Day. My brother, same day, but on Mother's Day. Well, there you go. There's a synchronicity, man. I just got chills all the way down my spine. Because that's the exact date that my brother wandered into the abodes beyond the veil. At 40, was he 46 or 47? I thought he was 46. I thought he was 47, like everyone else, right? All the other great masters, they passed at that same age. Do a quick look up on people, on great famous people who died at 46, 47. Nietzsche, JFK, Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So there's a definite synchronistic connection there. But yeah, I don't know if you've been checking my Facebook, right, in the background, because I did do a memoriam to him right after it happened. But no, maybe not. I grieve for you, beloved, and it's a hard thing, you know. Like when it was even easier, like when my father passed, because he was always pretty hard on me, and I'm like, motherfucker, good, you know. I'm glad you're beyond the veil. But then he came back to me and showed me a lot of things that made me soften my heart. But I always thought that like my mother would be the biggest blow to me. But there were spiritual affinities that occurred before the time of her going beyond. And so I was reassured once again. My father showed up. And like I said before, and he made me aware with a really powerful vision of what was going on in the abodes of the dead, right, in the realm of the dead. And so I had no fear for her. And even I thought, should I tell her of my vision? And I thought, no, it's better. Like immediately, my father's, when I asked that question internally, my father's voice responded to me and said, no, don't. It'll just cause fear. He said, let her pass naturally. Yeah, so anyway, it is what it is. I still grieve. But, so she's been gone for how long now? It looks like pushing into the second year. Yeah, so a little longer for you. I guess 5 years now. Just at the 5-year mark for you, but it's still under close to 2 years. Yeah, I haven't totally reconciled with it yet though, but I will, and I am. And her and Frater Tomas I've been seeking counsel with in the realms beyond, because you can't slip out of life that easily if there are things left unfulfilled. Then being a wizard, I will practice necromancy and call you back so that we can finish business, because I don't want to leave any untied, I don't want to leave any loose strings when it's time for me. So I want to make sure that my whole family and all my friends and all the magic, all my spiritual family as well, that we get all that good magic done. I think that's the completion of the great work. Where did I leave off? List ye, O man, to the depth of my wisdom. Speak I of knowledge hidden from man. Far have I been on my journey through space-time, even to the end of space this cycle. Of space this cycle. Yeah, I've been there and back, man. I've been to that Hitchhiker's Guide grand party at the end of time, right? I was there and brought back the knowledge. And that was like pretty early on in my path. I think at 27 and 3 months, man. That's when I was among those cats who knew all about that shit. And I came back and I told one of the great architects, like a guy that was like deep involved in 3D programming and a genius of music. And he was doing everything on the early days of computers. We're talking like 1999, 2000. And yeah, you're right. But anyway, I told him what I had seen at the end of the universe and everything. And he's like, don't ever fucking talk about that again. He said, you can't tell people that, man. You can't reveal the secret. And I was like, okay, if you say so. I said, I'm going to know it, though. I'm going to know it. And he said, that's good enough to dare to know and to be silent. And I was like, good magic. And the dude knew what he was fucking talking about. You can't just run around telling everybody what's up. I glimpsed the hounds of the barrier, lying in wait for he who would pass them. In that space where time exists not, faintly I sensed the guardians of the cycle. Move they only through the angles. Free are they not of the curved dimensions. Strange and terrible are the hounds of the barrier. Follow they consciousness to the limits of space. Think not to escape by entering your body, for follow they fast the soul through the angles. Only the circle will give ye protection, save from the claws of the dweller in angles. That's true too, and it's really powerful magic, man. Once you learn to cast a basic Solomonic circle, like immediately you're protected from the hellhounds that, are at the gate, the savagers of the ordinary man's consciousness as he goes to and fro, right? The hounds of the barrier, they call it in this work, dwellers in angles. Yeah, so you have to be able to understand the triangle of art and the circle of protection. Otherwise, you can't get through in one piece. That's why so many people were taken out at 46, 47 years old, because they didn't do the work that's required, the great work that's required to go there and bring back information. And they're just bringing it back constantly without any real deeper understanding. Some of them, right, like Poe and Lovecraft, they knew quite a bit, but they were doubters and skeptics. And I think you need to get beyond skepticism and intellectual dichotomy in order to be able to directly perceive the ways of magic. Once in a time past, I approached the great barrier and saw on the shores where time exists not the formless forms of the hounds of the barrier. I, hiding in the mists beyond time, I found them, and they, scenting me from afar, raised themselves and gave the great bell cry that could be heard from cycle to cycle and moved through space toward my soul. Yeah, that's a really powerful encounter he had here. And I had a really powerful one where I did an entire like series of short stories and paintings, plates of what some of these creatures look like, because I was there with my youngest son right after he had been born, and they were trying to devour his soul, and he was afflicted with a condition that the doctors said might end him, you know, and they're like, he needs special medicine and he needs to go into this, that, or the other therapy, you know, and they were really trying to present some dire psyops to pull him into the medical industry. And I said, hey, honey, I told my wife, I said, I had this really powerful dream, and I defeated those daemoniacal, those cacodemons that were trying to pull you in all along this path. And I said, you need to realize that the medical industry is first and foremost in the business of sickness. And they're always going to try to upsell you the next, you know, the next best, greatest thing, because they profiteer off of it. And I said, why don't you take a step back? You know, we'll go to a spiritual healer and we'll take a look at it from a different angle and maybe try some food therapy with him. And I said, maybe I'll do a little, you know, prayer and hands-on, the invocation of Abraxas and that type of thing. And we kind of backed off a little bit and lessened the amount of involvement with them. We didn't ignore them entirely or their advice. But I said, you got to be careful of these really powerful hormones that they're trying to give you and like all of these other, you know, therapies they want to take him into. And I said, if it's the Lord's plan for him, you know, to be necessarily taken from us, I said, we need to reconcile ourselves with that and seek out the Lord directly. And he started having miraculous healing immediately. Like all of the symptoms of the things that they said was going on started to remiss. And we went and took to another series of so-called specialists and got a second opinion. And yeah, it turned out none of that was necessary. So those dark celestials, they were trying to, you know, perform a sacrifice of my son at the time. Yeah, it's you got to be careful, man. The fucking you need to call upon your holy guardian angel for protection and guidance through the innumerable snares of the earthly sphere, and that cleansing wind to disperse all negativity. And you know what else? Endless human opinion. Okay, yeah. Let me check the chat a little bit. There's some action going on out there in Happy Land. Frater Balanced Touch says a mention to the Great One God. Good man, I appreciate that. Child self and realized that it was for me in the future. There's always talked to me and thought, God, I love you. God, but it was me living in North Hollywood in the year 2013. That's interesting, man. I had some crossover with. I think we talked about this last time, that I had a friend that went to UCLA and finished his master's degree in. I can't remember exactly what type of history he was focused on, but it was some sort. Maybe it was U.S. history, maybe it was some other like world history or something. But basically, I guess just a master's degree in history. But that's a magical area. I remember even when I was a kid going up there and climbing, what is that, Griffith Park up to the observatory and taking a picture with old James Dean. They've got like a head and bust of James Dean at the top of the mountain, and cruising around Hollywood Dog Park and Mulholland Drive, and, you know, going down into Franklin Village to the comedy. They got comedy clubs there, right? I forget exactly what they call all those comedy clubs. But he wanted me to move there while he was there and become active in comedy, because we had made a relationship here in Beijing, and I was doing stand-up comedy in Beijing. And he's like, if you did that, man, you could probably break into Hollywood and get a gig and become a big star. And I'm like, nah, that's all pretty. He's like, you know, it's big money. And I'm like, yeah, it is, but you got to sacrifice a pretty large portion of your soul in order to do that. And I was like, I don't think that's necessarily something I want to do. I just want to stay at the foundational level and work and have a normal life. One of the highest attributes of Taoism is just to live a normal life, right? And the wizard hides himself among the masses and just lives an ordinary life, trying to help out where he can, right? I don't need to be in front of the cannon that is the Hollywood camera. That shit's dangerous. They want to put you through all kinds of humiliation rituals, and the $1 million club, the $10 million club, it all requires blood sacrifice. And I'm not going to get involved with those parasites. And I'm sure you know that. You were there living it firsthand, right? I will remind you guys at this time, because we are pushing in deep into the second hour. Um, let's see, where is it? That you have the power within yourself to access the magic directly through the very simple ASK formula, right? ASK, ask, seek, and knock, right? That's where the Great One God spelled it out early on. The power of magic, right? The power of word magic. You have a mighty power within you that can and will manifest anything that you desire. All you need to do is ask. You should know the circle and the triangle, though, right? The seal of the seal of Solomon, the Star of David, and Solomon's magic ring before you proceed. But know that it's pretty straightforward. God's not going to abandon you. It's pretty easy to do. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and all the doors of the temple will fly open to you. But you got to be ready to seek out that path. And one way you could do it is by joining me at buymeacoffee.com/Frank Monday. Put a little something in the tip jar. That will open a couple of documents for free that are there, like the Adoration of Abraxas in full printed form with all of its accoutrements. I haven't put up my model of the Lesser Banishing Ritual of the Pentagram yet, because I want to fine tune it, and I want to have time to sit down and focus and make it like an official document, like a PDF, so that it will be of greater service to the community. But once I do, man, that's going to be good magic, because I've put together some of the hidden secrets of the Pentagram Ritual from Solomonic Magic that I think are really, really worthwhile, man. And they might touch a light in you. And I'm going to make it really cheap, like a one-time coffee purchase will get you the document. Or maybe even just put it up there for I don't know, $2 or $3 or something. Because I want it accessible to the community. And I'm not trying to profit off of it. But, definitely you got to pay the bills at some point. These live streaming platforms, they cost money. New microphones, all of that, So here's me begging for shekels. The grift is real, my brothers and sisters. I realize now that God is my future self. Good magic, man. I can appreciate that balanced touch. Good magic. Let's get into it, man. We're almost finished with this text. Oh God, there's a little more than I thought there was. Let's see. It's like I said, it's just 2 pages left. But where did I leave off? I left off somewhere. Right here. Let me throw on that background music again, so that I'm not creating so much dead air. There's let me double check and see that. Yeah, echo. 1, 2, 3, echo. Are you receiving this transmission, Wayfarer, as you wander through the abodes of night? Good looking out, balanced touch. I appreciate that, man. You might want to take a moment to take a deep breath. Inhale. Hold it for 3, 2, 1. Command yourself to relax and enjoy the energy of the transmission. It's not always that we get this opportunity, Wayfarer, to sit together and commiserate on the secrets of magic and to enjoy a little free time. But whenever you get an opportunity, man, tune in. Hit the like button, everyone. Subscribe. If this is your first time, don't let it be your last time. Check back often. Sometimes I'm here. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I take extended breaks from the internet. My typical broadcasting times are, for you guys, it'd be like Monday or Tuesday morning and Thursday morning. Because for me, that's Tuesday evening and Thursday evening. I'm about 13 hours ahead for you on the reverse inverse time scale. So for me right now, for example, it's Sunday at noon. It's 11:47 right now, guys, on June 1st. So some of you are still back there on May 31st, right? And it may be approaching midnight for you. So the way the old time scale works, it usually puts me in the future, and so I'm broadcasting back into the past. That's okay. Wherever you are, whoever you are, and whenever you receive the transmission, welcome, wizard, warrior, wanderer, and wayfarer alike. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you liked the video. Just having a little coffee, guys, and a JP Farrell. I fired up a JP Farrell. I want to kind of chief it down and get into this second half. We're just about there, man. We've just about finished Emerald Tablet 8 of the Book of Thoth. Let's see where I left off. Fled I, then fast before them. Okay, so he left off with this encounter with the Hounds of the Barrier. And they picked up his scent from afar. They raised themselves up and gave the great bell cry that could be heard through the cycles of time, and moved they through the space-time continuum toward his soul. Right, so those hellhounds are trying to ravish and consume his soul, but they don't know what they're up against, you know. They approach sometimes the magician and think they can fucking slip in through the circle of magic, but they can't. If your magical circle is cast correctly, you're going to be protected by all the God names, right? The names of God and his angels. And you'll be vibrating that red gold energy of Christ consciousness, the rose cross, at your heart center. And with that firmly in place, yeah, you're untouchable to these fucking motherfuckers. 1047 in Alabama, guys. Yeah, good looking out, Alabama. I appreciate you. You know, I did my time in Alabama. That's where I got my literature degree. Yes, indeed. May 1st. Good looking out, man. Good looking out. Let's roll back that music a little bit and get into it, man. We got a little more work to do this morning. Fled I through the circles back to my body. Fled and fast after me they followed. I, after me the devourers followed, seeking through angles to devour my soul. I, know ye, man, that the soul who dares the barrier may be held in bondage by the hounds from beyond time, held till the cycle is completed and left behind when the consciousness leaves. And this has happened to many a great man. Don't fucking discount it at first blush. Like I said, Edgar Allan Poe, Charles Baudelaire, who else? Howard Phillips Lovecraft, JFK, right? The list goes on and on. My beloved brother. Entered I my body, created the circles that know not the angles, created the form, that form of my form was formed, made my body into a circle, and lost the pursuers in the circles of time. But even yet, when free from my body, cautious ever must I be, not to move through the angles, else my soul may never be free. Know ye the hounds of the barrier move only through angles and never through curves of space. Only by moving through curves can ye escape them, for in angles they will pursue thee. O man, heed ye my warning, Seek not to break open the gate to beyond. Few there are who have succeeded in passing the barrier to the greater light that shines beyond. For know ye, even the dwellers seek such souls to hold in their thrall. Listen, O man, and heed ye my warning. Seek ye to move not in angles but curves. And if will free from thy body, thou hearest the sound like the bay of a hound, ringing clear and bell-like through thy being, flee back to thy body through circles. Penetrate not the mists before. For thou hast entered the form thou hast dwelt in. Use thou the cross and the circle combined. He's talking about the rose cross here. All right. Open thy mouth and use thou thy voice. Abrahadabra. Utter the word and thou shalt be free. There's another word too, an even more powerful one. I won't talk about it here though, because it's not permissive. To know, to dare, and to be silent. When thou hast entered the form thou hast dwelt in, use thou the cross and the circle combined. Open thy mouth and use the word, and use thou thy word. Utter the word, and thou shalt be free. Only the one who of light has the fullest can hope to pass by the guards of the way, and then must he move through the strange curves and angles that are formed in direction not known to man. All right, give me a second, guys. I got flip pages. I'm not going to analyze all that in too much detail because I'm kind of getting towards the end of the transmission here, guys. We've got a couple of more paragraphs to look into, and then I'm going to probably have to roll into the abodes of the future because I got folks up and in my space. Dweller of the Threshold, that's right. Karanzon 333, you know him, your shadow, the lurker at the threshold, he who dwells and snatches from the magician his light. Yeah, I'll put a PDF of it up on buymeacoffee.com, man. You can go over there and check it out. I'll put it in the PDF section and make it a free item because it's a worthwhile thing. I want to rewrite it so that it's a little better and then maybe make some commentary and footnotes so it'll be a more valuable book. But yeah, it's in the public domain. It's Emerald Tablets of Thoth. List ye, O man, and heed ye my warning. Oh, and if you join my Discord, I could just send it to you directly, Balanced Touch. There's an invitation to my Discord in the About section of my YouTube page here. So you can click on that, click on the Discord, jump in, let me know you're there, and then I can just send you the PDF directly. List ye, O man, and heed ye my warning. Attempt not to pass the guards on the way. Rather should ye seek to gain of thine own light, and make thyself ready to pass on the way. Light is thine ultimate end, O my brother. Seek and find ever the light on the way. And that ends, guys, Emerald Tablet 8 of the Book of Thoth. And we are currently engaged in the great work and the awakening of the invocation of Tahuti of Thoth. Which for me personally, there's a few errors in the Israel Regardi version of the invocation of Thoth, which I offered at the beginning of the transmission. I think I'm going to offer it here at the end of the transmission as well. Let me pull it up. And we're also going through the Gates of the Silver Key with Lovecraft. So definitely those three items are essential texts here for the 100-day challenge, Pathways of the Psionic Agent. So in combination with your work in the syllabus that I offered on buymeacoffee.com, you probably want to read those three books. So I'll mention them again. Emerald Tablets of Thoth by the Three Initiates, right? Along with probably the Hermetic Kybalion, right? And then there's some other recommendations I have, but read Lovecraft's short story Through the Gates of the Silver Key, and you might want to go all the way back to the beginning and read the original short story, the Silver Key itself. All right, so these are the kind of things we're getting into. And then the third one would be, what did I mention there? Let's see, that one, and that one. I can't remember now. I've lost. But it'll come back to me. Oh, and then Israel Regardi's Invocation of Thoth, which I'm going to do for you right now. Here we go. Procol, o procol, este profani, ballisti, ompada. In the name of the mighty and terrible one, I proclaim that I have banished the shells unto their habitations. I invoke Tahuti, the Lord of wisdom and of utterance, the God that cometh forth from the veil. O thou majesty of the Godhead, wisdom-crowned Tahuti, Lord of the gates of the universe, thee I invoke. O thou of the ibised head, thee I invoke. Thou who wieldest the wand of double power, thee I invoke. Thou who bearest in thy left hand the rose and cross of light and life, thee I invoke. Thou whose head is as an emerald, and thy nemesis as the night blue sky, thee I invoke. Thou whose skin is a flaming orange, as though burned in a furnace, thee I invoke. Behold, I am yesterday, today, and the brother of tomorrow. I am born again and again. Mine is the unseen force whereof the gods are sprung, which is as life unto the dwellers in the watchtowers of the universe. I am the charioteer of the east, lord of the past and the future. I see by my own inward light, Lord of resurrection, who cometh from the dust, and my birth is from the house of death. O ye two divine hawks upon your pentacles, who keep watch over the universe, ye who accompany the buyer into the house of rest. I changed this for my own personal invocation. Ye who accompany the aspirant to the house of rest, who pilot the ship of Ra, ever advancing onwards the heights of heaven, Lord of the shrine which standeth in the center of earth. Behold, he is me, and I in him. Mine is the radiance of Ptah, floateth over the firmament. I travel upon high. I tread upon the firmament of Nu. I raise a flashing flame with the lightning of mine eye, ever rushing in the splendor of the daily glorified Ra, giving my life to the dwellers of earth. If I say, come up upon the mountain, the celestial waters shall flow at my command, for I am Ra incarnate, Kephara, created in the flesh. I am the idol of my father Tamu, Lord of the city of the sun. The God who commandeth is in my mouth, the God of wisdom in my heart. My tongue is the sanctuary of truth, and a God sitteth upon my lips. My word is accomplished every day, and the desire of my heart itself, as that of Ptah, who created his works. I am the eternal, therefore all things are my designs. Therefore do thou come forth unto me from thine abode in the silence, unutterable wisdom, all light and all power, Thoth, Hermes, Mercury, Odin, Ludombing, by whatever name I call thee, thou art still nameless to eternity. Come thou forth, I say, and aid and guard me in this work of magical art. Thou star of the east that didst conduct the Magi, thou art the same all present in heaven and in hell. Thou art thou that vibratest between the light and the darkness, rising, descending, ever changing, yet ever the same. The sun is thy father, thy mother the moon. The wind hath borne thee in its bosom, and earth hath ever nourished the changeless Godhead of thy youth. Come thou forth, I say, come thou forth, and make every spirit of the firmament and of the aether, upon the earth and under the earth, on dry land and in the water, of whirling air and rushing fire, and every spell and scourge of God, the vast and mighty one, may be obedient unto me. Holy art thou, Lord of the universe. So it is commanded and confirmed, so mote it be. Amen. Hail unto thee who art Ra in thy rising, even unto thee who art Ra in thy strength, who travellest over the heavens at the uprising of the sun. Tahuti standeth in the prow, and Rahor Koit Tahuti standeth in the prow in thy splendor, and Rahor Koit abideth at the helm. Hail unto thee from the abodes of Dreamland. Amen Ra. Remember, O neophyte, goodness alone is power. Silence is strength. That's why we are commanded to know, to dare to know, and to be silent. Much love to all of you out there in Happy Land. Will regaineth omnipotence, and love lieth at the foundation. Love is the law, love under will, and do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. You can do nothing else, right? Humble yourself before God in all that you think, say, and do. Call upon the Lord thy God and his beloved, only begotten Son, Jesus Christo, Jesus Christ. In thy name, dear Lord, I praise thee, and I give all glory unto thee. For the greater glory of God and his angels, beloved, Balanced Touch, everyone that visited here today, thanks for stopping by. I hope you liked the video. I hope that it touches on the light inside of you and makes you want to bring forth good magic into the world. That's all we're doing, man. We're just trying to get the great work done. Dave, shout out to you. Salutations, brother. Blessings. Blessings to all of you. I'll leave you with a presentation of the song that I shared earlier, and then I'm going to check the chat, and then I'm going to wander off into the abodes of the future. Everyone, keep doing good magic. Hit the likes and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Ad Astra per Aspera and Carpe Diem. Until next time, bye for now.
We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Hoof and horn, all that die shall be reborn. Corn and grain, all that fall shall rise again. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. Sage and crone, wisdom's gift shall be our own. Crone and sage, wisdom is the gift of age. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain.